Welcome back to Southern Soul with a Cajun twist. I'm your host, Chef Sophia Marie, and you already know I am your favorite chef. You just don't know it yet. Today's episode is brought to you by Summit Mercantile Antique Mall, Vintage Girls of Summit, Mississippi, and Pink Company Beauty Supply of Summit, Mississippi. Today we have something savory and scrumptious. Oh my goodness. Did someone say brunch? Oh, I don't know. It sounds like someone is asking for some brunch. Brunch is boss. Today, we're preparing something brunchy. Let's get into these brunch vibes. Oxtails, anyone? I've met a few people who said they've never had oxtails. Well, let me tell you, you're missing some good meat. You're missing some good meat, some good eats. Today we're going to prepare these succulent, dirty South grits. Here in the South, we enjoy grits. Listen, I don't know. I believe a few people are very particular about how they prepare their grits. I like them real creamy, silky, but listen, we'll get into all of that. Let's talk oxtails. I enjoy the grits and the oxtails. They just marry well together with especially the way that I'm going to prepare this little sauce for it. Listen, everything about these brunch vibes are going to be amazing. So let's get into it. I've already marinated my oxtails. So you know, oxtails take a while to prepare. So we need to preheat our oven at 325. And these are going to slow cook for 2 hours minimum. Okay, and I said this real nice and slow so you won't rush the process. Okay, do not rush the process. Allow the meats to become succulent and tender to the bone to where they should be fork tender. We love tenderness. Okay, let's go ahead and get these seared up. We have these marinated in some spices, Cajun spices, nothing too crazy, very light and nice. So here, the same seasonings that I have here are the same seasonings that I have prepared here on my oxtails already. So we have roasted garlic. Remember, I was telling you our roasted garlic is best. I don't care what they told you. Roasted garlic, smoked paprika. You have your garlic pepper. Listen, garlic, whether it's minced, whether it's powder, granulated, garlic is boss, okay? Just like a number of our seasonings. So we already have these marinated, so we're gonna go ahead and pan sear these. We have our cast iron. We know everything is better in cast iron, okay? Everything is better in cast iron. We're gonna have these searing for a few minutes. And I'm going to bring this skillet up to temp and I'll be right back. Hey, it's Chef Sophia Marie and we are here at Pink Company Beauty Supply. I'm here to grab a few things that I need, and where I know to get them from is right inside. Come with me. I got mine. Listen, I have mine. You need to come down here to Pink Company Beauty Supply. 20% off of your purses each and every time. Who would want to shop at Pink Company Beauty Supply? Cosmetics, jewelry, body butters. Come down to Pink Company Beauty Supply. Summit, Mississippi. I got mine. You should come get yours. Welcome back. So we have our cast iron up to a temp just the way that I would like it. A quick tip, you can also place your cast iron in the oven, preheat it and bring it up to temp. That way the heating process can already begin so that you won't be placing any type of meats onto your cast iron and it's still cold. It's not going to give you that nice sear that you're looking for. So we're ready to rock and roll here. I don't know about you. You hear that sizzle sizzle? It's going to be nice. We're going to look for a nice color on these oxtails. We really need to get the color nice. Now, we're gonna let those go ahead and get a nice coat on them. When you're preparing these oxtails, toss your oxtails in a high temp oil. I use avocado oil. So I toss those in the avocado oil and I use the seasoning and I just razzle dazzle it on there, okay? And you season it to your liking. Do not be afraid to season these oxtails. Once they are placed in the oven and the liquid hits the oxtails, everything will just begin to separate. So you want to ensure that you have a nice amount of seasoning on there. So upon the separation of the liquid, when it hits the protein, everything can be seasoned and well together. So those seasonings just be floating around in your liquids, okay? So do not be afraid of it. Ensure that you are seasoning your meats, okay? We need everything nice and seasoned. With this brunch here today, we're going to pair it with some creamy grits. So with the oxtails, the flavors and the grits, everything is just going to kind of marry together. I know for brunch, most people enjoy shrimp and grits, fish and grits, something like that. But today we're going to do these dirty South style grits. And I want you to follow along with me to ensure that you get this recipe so that you can try it for your family, loved ones, and friends. You know, over here in the kitchen with Chef Sophia Marie, we're cooking up confidence. We are cooking up confidence. We want to ensure that whatever it is that you're preparing it with love. First of all, you know you got to have some love. Are you cooking with love? Lean in, friend. Are you cooking with love? You should be. You should be. Confidence and love, they go hand in hand. So you can be confident as you like, but if there's no love to satisfy the appetite, you just cook it with confidence, and we need both. They're cousins, okay? We need them both. Let's check on our oxtails. While they're searing, we do not need you to disturb them because we need you to get that coat on there. We need that nice sear, that nice brown sear on there. These oxtails are a little larger in size, so it's going to take I have a few different sizes. So depending on the size oxtails that you use, I have one that's a little smaller. Depends on the size that you're using. You would want to not disturb them. You wouldn't want to disturb them as much because you want to ensure that that coat is going to get that flavor. Now you're going to have some things that's sticking out at the bottom of the pan. You may feel like it's becoming burned. It's not burned. That's flavor. Listen, I have so much flavor here, and the flavor comes from the seasoning. So all of these beautiful seasonings that we incorporated on there, all of our razzle dazzle that we placed on those oxtails, is sticking to the bottom of that cast iron. And once we incorporate our liquids, everything is going to just marry together. That is so much flavor. With these oxtails, they need flavor. So we're building flavors here. We have some liquid. So let's talk about what we're going to incorporate into our oxtails to get this liquid and everything together for our sauce. I'm just going to say it's going to be our oxtail sauce that's going to be used for our grits. So we're going to use our tomato paste, and I'm going to tell you now, you can start off with a tablespoon at a time, depending on how thick you like, because tomato paste is thick. It has a thick consistency, so it depends on how much you dilute the tomato paste will determine how thick it's going to be. So I like mine just like in between. So I start off with like a tablespoon at a time. So here I have like almost a quarter cup of it. Now, no, we will not use all of that, but I'm starting off with a quarter cup of the tomato paste. That's going to be the base of our sauce. We have our W sauce. What is it? What is it, people? Worcestershire? Okay. We have soy sauce. We have cooking red wine. We have cooking red wine, as well as our secret weapon. You know Chef Sophia Marie has many secret weapons. What's the secret weapon? I'm waiting. Liquid smoke. Liquid smoke is our secret weapon. So we're going to be using our liquid smoke, and we're going to create this nice sauce. We also have 1 bay leaf. That bay leaf is going to add in-depth flavor, okay? Get those aromatics in there. We're going to be cooking with flavor and love. We're going to get these seared up, and we'll be back in a moment to prepare our oxtail sauce. Dirty South grits. We'll be back. Welcome back, Southern Soul with a Cajun Twist. I'm your host, Chef Sophia Marie. Now let's talk oxtails. It has been brought to my attention that there are several people who haven't ever had the oxtails. There isn't nothing better than juicy, succulent oxtail. I mean, I'm sure you can find something better, but why would you when you have the oxtail? Okay, so this reminds me of a roast. Now, that might be a little off in comparison, but it does remind me of a nice beef roast. It's cooked at the same temperature, low and slow, and it's tender to the fork. Like, it's tender, okay? So we have seared this and you prepared in the same way. So if you enjoy the roast, you will enjoy the oxtail. You will prepare them the same way. And we have this nice sear on here. We want to ensure that we're searing the fat and it's going to lock in all of those flavors there. You see that nice color on there? This is what we want. So we're going to go ahead and prepare the sauce. We're going to start with the tomato paste. I have to remove that cast iron from the heat because it's nice and hot, okay? So we have our cooking red wine, our secret weapon. What's our secret weapon? The liquid smoke, silly. We're not going anywhere without our liquid smoke. We have our soy sauce. Okay, we have our Worcestershire. You know what it is. That's right. We have that. Okay, we're gonna add in our seasoning, just a little razzle dazzle. Then we're gonna bring this back onto the fire and bring it up to temp. I didn't need any scorching of my tomato paste. So we're going to bring this back here and be very careful when you're working with cast iron because it can get very, very hot. This was very hot, as you can see. So we're going to bring this up low and slow. There we go. I tried to do low and slow, but we're bringing it up. We're bringing it up. Okay. So now, like I was telling you all about these oxtails, we're pairing this today with grits. I've heard of some pairing the grits with the neck bones, things like that. But the neck bone doesn't have enough meat. The tail does, the oxtail does. Listen, I'm not trying to persuade you over here with me with the oxtails, but I'm trying to persuade you over here with the oxtails. Okay, so we're gonna bring this up to temp. Get us a small rolling boil here because we need to extract all of these flavors from the bottom of this cast iron. So if you're one of the ones who hasn't had the oxtails before, I want to just say, where you been? What you been doing? What you been eating? Okay, what have you been eating? So we're gonna go ahead and add in our bay leaf. Okay, we need to add us a little razzle dazzle. Okay. Add us a little more of this razzle dazzle. We need nice flavors on the oxtail. It's going through the searing process and all of that, and we're losing some flavors. So we want to ensure. And I'm just taking my little tongue and I'm just going to scrape around that bottom just to ensure I'm getting everything from that bottom. And what we're going to do, we're going to bring our oxtails back. And we're going to incorporate them into that sauce. This is going to get good. This is where the greatness begins, okay? This is where the greatness begins. So like I said, we're bringing this up. We're going to bring this up to a little slow, little rolling boil. We're going to get that together here. And as we're waiting on our oxtails to come up to a rolling boil, we're going to prepare our grits. Remember I told you we're doing the Dirty South grits. And what better way to have the oxtails than to pair them with grits? So we're gonna get just regular grits, okay? We have our grits here, and we're going to bring these up to a nice little boil. So we'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to Southern Soul with the Cajun Twist with your host, Chef Sophia Marie. We have these oxtails that have reached a rolling boil, so we're going to go ahead and transfer these into our roasting pan, place them in the oven at 325 for about 2 hours. We're going to get this brunching together. Now, I know by now you're probably still on the fence about oxtails, but hear me when I say oxtails truly do remind you of roast. It really does. So we're just gonna do this very carefully. Be very, very careful. The cast iron gets very hot, especially when you're bringing this up to temp to a rolling boil. So we have this. We're gonna place our lid on here. Our oven is already preheated. So we're gonna let these go for about 2 hours. We're gonna go and get into our grits. So we need our grits to be nice and creamy. No lumpy grits. You know you cannot trust everyone's grits. Okay, we're gonna bring this up. Let's be careful with this. You can't trust everyone's grits. I know me personally, I don't like lumpy grits. And it tickled my elbow knowing that when you set the grits to the side for at least 30 seconds, and they become hard, we're gonna have a talk. You and I need to have a nice conversation about how to properly prepare grits. Now, it's like similar to rice. You know how you think you're doing something, the rice is boiling away, it's just a cooking, rolling, boiling. And you prepare yourself to plate the food and you get into the rice and you hear that. You got a little, the rice is, it's not done. It's not done. That's like the grits. We don't want to be enjoying the grits and we have lumps and grits, okay? We don't need those problems, okay? Just stay over here with Chef Sophia Marie, your favorite chef, and we're going to get you together in the kitchen because we build confidence. Yes, we do. So this brunch, grits, fluffy eggs, and I didn't tell you the secret. We have a secret because you know Chef Sophia Marie is full of secrets. I don't know if you've ever had this, what I'm about to release to you, but it's a sweet potato waffle. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because what is brunch without the waffles? We need waffles, biscuits, or something on the side. Here, we're going to have these sweet potato waffles. So I'm going to show you how to prepare the sweet potato waffles as well. We're just going to build a beautiful platter for brunch. One that's going to surely satisfy your family, loved ones, and friends. Let's come back in a moment once we have our grits rolling, boiling. See you in a minute. Welcome back to Southern Soul with a Cajun Twist. We have these grits. The trick to the grits, whisk. They go hand in hand. Grits, whisk, whisk, grits, okay? We're gonna whisk the grits, okay? Whisking these grits immediately upon incorporate them into this water. We need to be whisking. We don't have time to waste. We don't have time to waste. Brunching with a side of soul. When I tell you this is going to be one soul for brunch, one to remember. This recipe can be shared with your family, loved ones, and friends. This is what we do it for. We don't do it so we can gatekeep. We do it so we can share with our family. So they can feel like, oh, what you been doing? Who you been watching? And you just invite them on over to stay and watch and enjoy Chef Sophia Marie. That's it. You let them know. You let them know that it's Southern Soul with a Cajun Twist, that they should too tune in because we cooking up what in the kitchen? Confidence. Yes, we are. Brunching with a side of soul. We gonna whisk, whisk, whisk the grits. It's all in that wrist action. I'm telling you, nice, low, and slow. Now, I will tell you this. I told you all in the beginning, yes, bring your water up to a boil. That's only if you're ready for that whisk action. You can also low and slow it. You can definitely low and slow it. I like to have my water already up to a temp. So once I add in my grits, depends on the grits that you use. I'm using a quick grit, so this process is going to be quick, okay? So this is a quick grit, but as soon as I incorporate it, they're going where it needs to go. It's doing what needs to be done, okay? So we're whisking the grits, okay? We're gonna go ahead, since we have that whisk down, we need to go ahead and move quickly so that we can incorporate the rest of our ingredients. We're gonna add in 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter. I've already had these, guys. So We're going to incorporate that. We also have heavy whipping cream. The heavy whipping cream is going to give us that creamy consistency that we're looking for. This is going to eliminate that lumpiness. This is a secret weapon that you can incorporate. Maybe not so secret for you, but I'm sure someone in the back, they'll know to use the heavy whipping cream. I'm sure of it. So this is going to ensure that you have that nice creamy grit. Okay, and also towards the end, I'm going to show you another little method that you can use. But with this recipe, I would like to keep it nice, simple, and sweet. But there are different little techniques that you can incorporate to get the texture of your grits that you're looking for. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and incorporate our heavy whipping cream. And this is about a cup of heavy whipping cream. So I'm going to start off with a half a cup. I want to save a little of the cream towards the end to see if I need to add any more. The seasoning, our razzle dazzle. You know, we use this for our oxtail. So we're going to also incorporate this inside grits. We need everything to marry together. The flavors, everything is going to just taste and balance out very well. So we're going to use the same amount of seasoning. And don't be crazy with it, but allow the spirit to use you. Don't be crazy, okay? Don't just dump it in here. Don't do that. You don't want anything too salty, okay? So we're just gonna razzle dazzle it, razzle, 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 okay? We're gonna shake it, shake it, shake it, okay? Around, and I'm gonna do this about 3 times, okay? All right, so we have that in there. Now it's time for us to get this whisk action together. Let me wash my hands, get some of this seasoning off of these gloves. Now let's go ahead and get this whisk. At this time, we can go ahead and turn this down on low. Reduce your heat once you have incorporated everything. This process should take you around 1 to 2 minutes to incorporate everything. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and whisk. You do not want to leave these grits too long. I don't care if they're quick grits, it doesn't matter. You do not need to leave these grits too long. You do have your heavy whipping cream, and that's going to ensure that everything, you know, is creamy like you like it, but you still have to do some work. You can't expect the heavy whipping cream to do the work for you, nor the butter. Now, working with butter, we're always working with unsalted butter. Our seasonings, spices, and everything will come from the seeds, from the dry seasonings that we're using. No salted butter. This is going to be it will add too much salt to your dish. You don't want that. We already have the gravy and everything from the oxtails that has a nice amount of seasoning there. We have seasoning incorporated into our grits. You know, it's seasoning everywhere. So who needs salted butter, okay? So we're just gonna allow these here to cook down. They're gonna go a little while. I like to cook my grits regardless if they're quick grits or not, at least for about 15 to 20 minutes, okay? So we're just gonna allow these to go, and we're gonna get into our sweet potato waffles, and we'll be back in a moment. Welcome back. We're brunching with a side of soul. We are going to get into our sweet potato waffles and next our fluffy eggs. But before we do, I want to show you a quick tip on how you can create that creamy consistency, especially if you struggle with grits, or even if you don't struggle with grits. This is something that I like to do. It's a quick fix outside of the heavy whipping cream. So this quick tip, you can use your immersion attachment that comes with your hand blender, and you can just about 3 times, not too much. And you want to go ahead and give it a little whisk. And this is going to create that nice creaminess. I do this, I use that attachment a lot. I use it when I'm doing my beans, you know, to get that creamy consistency that you're looking for. This is just a nice tip. You don't want to do it too much because you still want to keep the integrity of the grits by keeping that nice texture and everything going. But that's just a nice little quick tip. And as you can see, it's nice and creamy, just like we like them. Okay, so let's get into our, if I can stop making so much noise, we can get into our sweet potato waffles. We're just gonna sit this over here and allow those to continue to cool down here for a moment. We're going to get some of this out of the way. We're going to get into our sweet potato waffles. So we have our waffle mix, and now we're using fresh sweet potatoes. So we have already got those nice and simmered down. We have those in the refrigerator. They're getting cooled off. So we have about 2 cups of waffle mix, just regular. It's very simple, but I prefer to use the fresh sweet potatoes to incorporate into the sweet potato waffles. It just gives it that real freshness, and it just makes everything all the more better. So we need to add in 1 egg. Okay, we're going to add in, this is a tablespoon of vanilla extract, as well as a 1/2 tablespoon of that maple extract. This is going to give you those sweet potato vibes that you're looking for. It's going to add so much flavor to this sweet potato waffle. Right now already you can smell the aroma. Everything just smells so lovely. It's almost smelling like you're getting ready to make a sweet potato pie. So we have cinnamon, nutmeg, and allspice. A tablespoon of each outside of the allspice. The allspice is literally a pinch. If you've never used allspice before, be careful. Be careful, because it can overpower what it is that you're making. So we're going to also add us a pinch of the pink Himalayan salt. We're going to give this a nice whisk once we add in our wet ingredients, and we'll be back in a moment. So we've added in our wet ingredients. We've added in our 2 tablespoons of oil. We're just going to go ahead and give this a nice whisk. We want to go ahead and whisk this first before we incorporate our sweet potatoes, okay? We put those in the fridge to cool down a bit. So, and we don't want to overwork it either. You know how it can be when you're doing those waffles and the sweet potatoes. Look how nice that looks. And it smells so lovely. You can almost just get your finger, just take your nice little scoopy scoop, and tasty. Okay, so let's grab our sweet potatoes now so we can incorporate those into this mixture. So we're just going to scoop these out here. Okay, we're going to add these babies to this bowl. We're getting these brunch vibes together. I don't know how you feel about brunch, but brunch is one of my favorites. Brunching for breakfast, brunching for lunch, brunch. And look, we're just whisking like this, and you can still see the pieces of those sweet potatoes. This is what we want. If we're saying, hey, we have sweet potato waffles, sweet potato pancakes, we want our family to actually see that there's some sweet potatoes in there. So we're gonna leave it like that. That's enough. We don't want to overwork it or anything like that. So I'm gonna sit this whisk to the side. I'm gonna use my little ice cream scooper. I already have my waffle iron heating up. It should be doing what it needs to do. Okay, and we're gonna add us some spray so that it won't stick. And we're just going to use our ice cream scoop, and we're going to scoop it on here. These are very easy to make, and this is fun because you know you can also add in blueberries, strawberries, add in what it is that you like, and it'll change your brunch life. It will change the way you brunch. You'll be brunching like a boss. Okay, I absolutely love these. These are my go-to. I use these for pancakes as well. So this mixture is great. It truly is. So we're going to get these together while we're waiting on these to finish. We have our eggs. So we're going to get those together as well. And before you know it, we'll be enjoying our brunch. So we have our 2 eggs here. We're going to, listen, however it is you like your eggs. I prefer mine scrambled. So I'm scrambling my eggs today. We're going to add us a pinch of, I'm going to move this out of my way for a second. We're going to add us a little pinch of the pink Himalayan salt. I'm not sure about you, but I prefer pink Himalayan salt. I talk about that a lot. I truly do enjoy it's because it only requires a little. I'm not a fan of the table salts and things like that, so I like the pink Himalayan salt. This right here will go a long way. I'm telling you, I can cook off this for days, maybe even months. I'm not joking, like I'm so serious. Okay, so we're gonna beat these up, beat them. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna let our waffles do what they do. We're gonna move our pan so we can get our eggs going, scrambling our eggs. Now, we do not have a brunch location here where I live. We're going to add in, I'm not going to use this much butter. We're going to use, let's do half of that because that was a lot of butter. Nothing wrong with butter, but we don't need that much butter. We only scrambling 2 eggs, okay? Don't be crazy, don't be crazy. And before we add in this butter, another pro tip is you will want to bring all of your pans up to temp. How you know they're up to temp? You don't want to add anything cold to a cold pan. You want to go ahead and bring it up to temp so it can begin the cooking process to ensure everything is evenly cooked and properly cooked and everything. So you're just gonna wave your hand over like you just don't care, okay? Wave it back and forth like you just don't care, okay? But be careful. Be careful, okay? Be careful. I know you're cooking with confidence in the kitchen, but I need you to be careful. So you're gonna bring your hand over there to ensure that the pan is coming up to a nice temp before you add anything in there. And once it does, you can add in, there you go, sizzle, 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 okay? So like I was telling you, we do not have a location here for brunch, but if we had a location here for brunch, when I tell you I would be there 8 days a week, if I could, yes, I would. We're gonna go ahead and add in our eggs now. Real nice and easy. Nice and easy, like mother would say, easy like Sunday morning, okay? Yes, you can prepare this brunch Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever you like. We're just gonna nicely bring these eggs together, okay? This has been a culinary journey in the kitchen. Wouldn't you agree? This has truly been a culinary journey in the kitchen. Brunching with a side of soul, okay? You cannot go wrong with a side of soul. Like I told you all in the beginning, if you're cooking with love, you're cooking with confidence. You're cooking with confidence, you're cooking with love, okay? We need to work on getting us a brunch place here because I would definitely enjoy me some brunch right about now. This brings back these Atlanta vibes. Like I would love when I would travel down to Atlanta and I just enjoy the brunch there. And they have so many different options for brunch. I truly enjoy brunch. I really do. I truly do. So this here, listen, our eggs are scrambled nice. So we're gonna remove these from the heat. We're gonna check on our waffles and we're gonna be ready to plate here in a moment. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Southern Soul with a Cajun twist. We're ready to plate. Brunching with a side of soul in this kitchen today has been amazing. My hope is that you try at least a step or two and change the way that you prepare your brunch for your family, loved ones, and friends. We have our oxtails, we have our scrambled eggs, we have sweet potato waffles with a side of creamy grits. It can't get any better than that, okay? We're gonna go ahead and plate. Oh, look at that waffle. It has my name all over it. Yes, it does. This has truly been an amazing experience here in this kitchen with you all today. Let's bring these sweet potatoes waffles up so that you can really get a visual of these sweet potato waffles. When I tell you the aroma will wake anyone up in the home. If anyone is asleep and you're preparing this brunch for breakfast for your family, I'm telling you, they are sure to wake up. They are sure to wake up. This has been amazing. My mother was an individual who would love to do grits. We enjoyed grits, but she wasn't able to enjoy the style grits that I have. So I'm gonna do a helping for myself and a helping for my late mother. Cause I'm sure if she was here with me today, she would enjoy an extra helping of these creamy style grits with these oxtails, okay? So don't judge my plate. Don't judge my plate. This is for me and my late mother. How about it? Okay, we're gonna add our oxtails here. We're gonna ensure that we get us some of that oxtail juice that we made with that tomato paste. We're gonna get that right here. Put that on here. Now, of course, we will not leave the juice hanging. We won't forget about that. We need some of that gravy. Some of that oxtail gravy there. I want you to get a nice look because I'm going to take a big bite for you. But see, if you're home preparing this for your family, loved ones, and friends, you won't have to worry about my plate. You will enjoy yours on your own. Okay, so we have this right here. We're gonna get us a nice visual on these. This has my mouth watering. It truly does. It really does. And of course, we have our eggs here, and we are just going to add our sweet potato waffle right here. Okay. We need you to know that you are cared about. We need you to know that you are cared about. Let's just go ahead and add these eggs on here, because why not? Why separate the eggs? They all belong together. This is a Southern Soul family affair. I'm your host, Chef Sophia Marie, and I would love for you to try at least one of the recipes. I provided so many for you today. I mean, listen, we have nothing less than the best butter pecan, not ice cream, because I do love ice cream. Butter pecan syrup, nothing less than the best butter pecan syrup here to marry well with everything that we have plated here. Today has been nothing short of amazing. I would like to truly recognize and show my appreciation for each and every one of my sponsors: Summit Mercantile Antique Mall, Pink Company Beauty Supply, Walkaway Productions, Vintage Girl Mall, as well as the entire Summit, Mississippi family. Today has been nothing short of amazing. I greatly appreciate your sponsorships. We're looking forward to further connecting with you. Listen, I'm Chef Sophia Marie. Today in the kitchen has been brunching with a side of soul, and as you can see, we brunched our way out. Until next time, I'm Chef Sophia Marie.